speaker Leslie Simon to join as well?
Definitely. Sounds good. Excellent. How's it all been going?
Oh, we've had a wonderful digital web so far, and so many wonderful speakers coming together, and in this new format, which was a little bit new for all of us. And I must say, it has worked out very well, and it's been a great experience so far.
Good. Yeah, from what I've seen as well, it just looks amazing. So that's amazing work that everybody that's been working behind the scenes to make it happen. So well done.
Right. So what time is it in Australia right now?
It is just coming up for 4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
4:30
on the afternoon, yeah. Beautiful way to spend on digital web, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's 12 o'clock where you are, isn't it?
Yes, it's about 12 o'clock. And we had a very busy day yesterday, so we're just kind of easing into the day today.
Of course.
And, so it's been a great experience. So I'm just waiting till it turns about 12, and then I will make your introduction, and maybe you can start off, and we will see if the other speaker is ready to join.
Definitely, sounds good.
Okay, so Melanie, wonderful to have you on this session. It's a great session of the power of networking. And I would just like to make a brief introduction about you. Melanie is the founder of Speaking Styles Australia. So wonderful to have you on the session, and please share your thoughts on power of networking.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to share this. It's such a pleasure to be on this amazing platform and amazing work that you're all doing to really make that impact for women. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And really my passion is around helping women find their voice, helping women gain that clarity and confidence so that they can share more about themselves, share more about what they do, and really be able to have those conversations with people. And the power of networking, I formulated, it comes down to 3 C's. And it's about having confidence to go to networking, having confidence to share your message, your story, your amazing work that you have. And the more you do networking online, offline, then it really builds your confidence to be able to have the clarity, which is my second C, having the clarity around your message. So the more you go, the more you speak to people, building that confidence, you build the clarity to really be heard and to be able to have other people go, when they see you, they go, I know what you do. I'm going to be able to share that with other people. So you get it's an opportunity to practice. So when taking the pressure off of looking at networking for a consistency of, I need to go to networking in order to gain more clients and customers. And every time you go, then you might think, oh, but I need to get numbers. I need to get contacts. I need to share business cards, rather than looking at it in a way of, I'm going to get to share a message, meet amazing people, build my confidence, gain the clarity of how I'm being heard. Are people understanding me? And that use that as an opportunity to be able to make connections. And my third C is around conversation. So going to have the power of networking is around the amazing conversations that we have with people. There is such a power in a conversation. And I saw this saying a number of years ago, and it says that we incite change when we incite conversation. And there's just so much power in a conversation, just as you've all been doing over the last couple of days here on this platform. Everybody's having conversations. And the impact on that is that people, they are able to relax, lose any kind of fear or any expectations or any outcomes, and just share information, have conversations and storytelling. So when we share conversations, we're actually sharing stories, which we do every day. And when we share something that's true to us and true to our hearts, that's how we incite change. Because when we have conversations, people go, well, you're like me. And if you can do it, I could do it too. So when we share that, and not so much around the telling, we get to show, we get to share, and we really get to build that conversation. And that's what I'm really passionate about, and really doing it from a place from your heart. So really connecting with what is in your heart when you have conversations with people. How do you want to show up? How do you want to help and serve other people? And having those conversations. And what that equals is those 3 C's equals relationship building. It then builds on your connections with people. And it also does build on your client base and your customers. But when you go into it from a place of, do you know, who will I meet today? Who will I come on and connect with on a platform like this? If I show up at a networking event, really just putting it out there to the universe and go, I'm showing up today. Who will I meet? Who will I speak to? And who will I help today? And really being open to attracting people that you could be able to have a conversation with and help. And what that does as well is the more you relax into it, and the more that you relax into, I know who I am, I know why I do what I do because I love it, I can share what and how this potentially could help them or someone else. Because there's 3 degrees of separation. So when we share conversations and stories, they know someone that needs your help, whether it's them, whether it's someone else. And that's the amazing thing of never going into networking of instant gratification. I've turned up at a networking event, or I've turned up at something, made a connection. Well, why haven't I gained a client or a customer? It's about building relationships and being open to doing that, and never putting an expectation of, you know, how many times you've turned up, how many times you've connected and had a conversation. You know, you look at your bank account and go, well, where's the money coming in from all of this work that I'm doing? It's really just about building those 3 C's and really building connections and relationships with people. And yes, that might take a little bit of time, but I'd say to people, visualize and imagine You are having the power of networking to have connections and relationships. And in 6 months' time, a year's time, people are coming to you and they call you up and go, I'm in this position, I need your help. Like, that's amazing to be in that situation because you've built that amazing relationship and you get to work with the people that you want to work with and you've connected from your heart with them. And it's an amazing place to be in to really help that person. So that's really the way that I use the power of networking, is just to look at it from a completely different perspective and go into it with an open heart and just no expectations and no outcomes.
That's so beautiful, the way you put it across, because when you focus just on the connection and no expectation or outcome, then, you are creating a friend there who might be willing to help, in different circumstances, right? So I'm with you on that. And when we talk about the power of networking, isn't it beautiful that we are connecting across the globe, right now?
Exactly.
It's amazing, isn't it? Me sitting in India and you sitting in Australia. So what a powerful connection and network.
Absolutely. And the world has become an even smaller place since we're all online. And that really is the power of that. You can be connecting with like-minded people, amazing women like yourself. From a completely different background and culture in different parts of the world. But we all come together with the same feeling, the same thing we want in humankind. And that's the amazing thing, that we get to share something so amazing and we get to do it globally. And that really is the power of it. If people are looking to grow their business globally, then this is an amazing place to do that. But really just going into it of, you can still have those conversations. You're building your confidence online. You're building the relationships and really looking at it from that way. Because I know for a lot of people, suddenly going from doing so much in person to suddenly I'm on camera and I'm on Zoom all day. And how do I connect and do that? And it's really about taking away from I'm on camera. You're still face to face with someone. Take the barrier away, take what we're looking at and actually see the person and think, well, if I was sitting next to them, I'd see them the same way and I can connect with them the same way and have a conversation just as we're doing right now.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think it's very important to think that this is a face-to-face call, and connect with your heart and soul, so that you're making lasting friendships and relationships. And as a result of that, magic begins to happen. How beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this. I think the other speaker has not tuned in so far. So maybe if you would like to take a few more minutes to share any further thoughts that you may have, right? I think we can go ahead a little further. And if somebody joins in, then we can kind of wind it down. Yeah? Is there anything else you would like to talk about?
Yeah, and out of networking that I've done, and the power is that even for me, I've built some amazing friendships out of it, like long lasting friendships. And that's the thing to go into it with, is that it's not necessarily clients or customers, it's friendship. And when we are in business and when we've been through the time that we're all going through over the last few months, I mean, how important is it to have those friendships from the power of networking? So look at it in a way of going, you can actually really connect with amazing people that can become lifelong friends. And I know for me that the friendships that I've now made, and over this time that we've had, we've really connected, we've kept each other supported, encouraged. We've really had those weekly check-ins on Zoom to keep us all going. And that's the power of networking, is that when we're in situations like we are, everybody's going through the same thing. And if you can come together with those people you have met online, in person, and just say, you know, let's maybe have an accountability buddy. Let's maybe bring some people together and share how we're feeling, how we're going. Is there anything that we can do to help each other? And that's what's really important as well, because you could really connect with someone who you need their services, they need yours, but what can you do together? So the collaboration that you can have is the power of networking, is that you could either do joint ventures. You could start partnering up with what you do, partners up together, and you could start running webinars together. You could start running online sessions like this together. And I see it as well with everybody, is we need a holistic approach together. It's not a one size fits all and you need to have this person helping you, this person. Well, let's bring us all together and look at how can we help an individual person or a company. How can we help them together? So I say as well, look at the opportunities of networking and think, who could I collaborate with? Who could I help? And how could we make a difference in the world by coming together? And that's something that I have been doing even more so now with everything that's happened, is I start looking at it and going, if I'm online or if I'm connecting with people, is who could actually really complement what I do, and who could I complement with what I do? And that's been amazing as well. And that power of from 1 to 2 is that you can then be able to build more onto that and really make such an amazing impact. So collaborations, joint ventures, friendships, connections, it's just, I believe that the power of networking is, it's limitless to what the possibilities that you could end up with when we go into it with a divergent approach of there's more to this than we actually currently see on the first situation that we're in, is that the possibilities can be absolutely endless from the power of networking. And I've seen it firsthand from myself, my own experience, and the people that I've seen it from as well. So really believe in yourself and really think, you know, who else could I work with? And who could I collaborate to really make that impact globally? And you know, and yes, we have time differences, but look at this, it's midday for you, it's afternoon for me. You know, you can still come together and run things with people. And it's amazing that you've got the time difference, because you're then partnering up with people in India, people in Australia, but there's also as well other time zones that are awake or just waking up, that you're still going to be able to reach so many more people by literally doing the power of networking. Definitely.
Very true. And I think in this present situation, as you rightly said, you know, connecting with people across the globe can give you so much positivity. It can give you global, you know, presence. It can be a great place for knowledge sharing as well. Yeah. So it's wonderful that you shared all this with us. And so we would like to confer an award on you, Melanie, for being a wonderful soul sister, you know, a soul sister who believes in the power of connection, and who has made time out to share your experiences on networking with us today. So we would like to confer the Iconic Woman Creating a Better World for All award for you from the Women Economic Forum Digital Conference 2020. It's beautiful, beautiful to have you on this session.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I hope this has been helpful for people watching. And thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Melanie. Lovely to connect with you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Raj.
Hi, Vidya. Wonderful to see you here.
I was thinking the same. It's so nice to have you as the moderator.
So we'll just wait a little bit
Yeah.
for the other participant to join. I think it's
Sure.
Dr. Pooja Roy.
Yeah.
I need to check who goes first. 1 minute.
I think mine is first.
Yes, yours is first. Yes.
Start.
I think,
Is it okay?
yeah. Yeah, but I am seeing a photograph which is hiding your face. Although I'm able to see you. Yeah,
Photograph.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Ah, okay.
You're looking lovely, Vidya.
Oh, thank you. You, of course, always. I don't have to tell you. It's a blanket compliment.
Thank you so much.
Are you in Chennai?
Yeah, we are in Chennai. I heard that you moved to Bangalore. I think we are live, so we'll keep the talk to to our topic. But lovely to have you here.
Thank you. I'll try and stick to the 12 minutes. I want to try and do a short meditation because just talking about mindfulness.
Sure. I
But I'll
think
try and stick to that 12 minutes.
yeah, we can start by in another say 2 minutes. We can
Sure.
start because you're the first speaker, so there's no point in waiting for the other person to join. So yeah, in another 2 minutes.
But 12:30 is what we've announced, I guess.
We've announced, but we didn't have one person in the earlier session, so we're running slightly early.
Okay.
So if you would like to take that time
Extra
to
time?
get
Yeah.
something extra, so I was
Sure.
thinking that we could go ahead. Let me know when you're ready to start.
Hi, Dr. Rajeshri.
Hello, Pooja. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hi, Vidya.
Hi, Pooja. I can't see you. Yes.
Yeah, I just switched on the
There
video.
you are. Hi.
Hi, how are both of you?
Doing
We're
very
doing
well.
very
Thank
well.
you.
Yeah, so I was just hearing about somebody not there, so we can take an extra 10 minutes.
Yes, so that's what we are planning on. So I think Vidya is the first speaker. So we will just start her session.
Okay.
So welcome to the digital edition of WEF Bangalore. And it is a privilege and honor to have you speakers here for this session. I'm Dr. Rajshri and I'm going to be your moderator. Finding peace and happiness through mindfulness. I feel very peaceful as I state the topic. Vidya Muralidharan is a very dear friend and a fellow soul sister. And she is a wonderful human being who is a HR professional and consultant. She is also a very spiritual person who has been through her own journey of spiritual opening. And we would like to hear you talk about finding peace and happiness through mindfulness. Over to Vidya.
Thank you very much, Rajshri, for that wonderful introduction. And it's great having you here with me, as I said. It was really a pleasant surprise. And good day to all of you out there. It's also wonderful having Pooja along with me, though we've not met earlier. I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful interaction today. Good day to all of you. Welcome to this session on mindfulness. I am truly feeling blessed and privileged to be talking, especially through this web platform, which is a wonderful forum. And I really mean it. So I'm really happy to have you all here. So whatever I'm going to say is largely, there are some concepts. I'm trying to see if we can have a little time for a short meditation, but why mindfulness? It's something that I have found benefiting me. I've been practicing meditation for several years now, and I have seen the difference it has made to my life. It has truly transformed the perspective that I have on life, the way I look at situations, the way I deal with situations. And therefore, it has opened up so many possibilities for me in life, including the fact that I'm sitting here and talking to you. Believe me when I say that. So that is why I believe, I want to share this journey. Even if it's a small, brief session today, I might be just giving you snippets of it, glimpses of it. But then please feel free to reach out to me. My profile is there. You've got my LinkedIn profile as well. If you want to have a detailed chat, if you want to know more about it, I'm absolutely delighted to share with you whatever a little that I know and have experienced. I truly believe that it works. So what is mindfulness and how does it work to bring peace and happiness? See, first and foremost, I'm sure all of you in this session have heard about this term mindfulness because I see a lot being said about it. So at least you must be having some notion of what this whole thing is. And some of you, or maybe most of you, are in fact doing some practices as well. The important thing to understand in mindfulness is that it is not necessarily a structured practice. It is more a state of being aware and non-judgmental about whatever it is that is there in the moment. It's also defined as being in the moment or living in the moment. You would have heard these terms as well. There are various ways to define it, but essentially, therefore, it means bringing more awareness into every little thing that you do. Having said that, okay, why is this so important? How does it make a difference to my life? You may ask. How does it bring peace and happiness just by being aware? So being aware, believe me, by itself does not bring peace and happiness. But the practice of doing it day in and day out, every waking hour, will bring a certain energy to you. You will begin to feel more alive and alert, and you will not feel the anxiety. I mean, you will not have these bad mood swings and anxieties and boredom, because whatever it is you're doing, you will be completely involved in that moment, right? So while mindfulness is very much a state of being, it helps if you do some form of structured practices. So, and why it helps is, see, it's one thing to say being in the moment is good and it's all about mindfulness, but how do I do that? How do I get to that state? See, most of us, our bodies, essentially, stress comes out of either recalling the past. We're not able to get away from something that has happened. That something could have been just a while ago. It could have happened years ago, but it's still there on my mind. It's troubling me. Or the other thing is we're worried about the future. So I'm sure you all understand and agree that both of these are things that we have absolutely no control over. Past, definitely no control. Future, you can probably influence some of the outcomes by what you do today, some of your actions today, but you still have no control as such. You can't predict the outcomes. You can only make an attempt to influence it. So then, why do we have to spend so much of our lives in things that we have no control over? The only thing we have control over actually is the moment. And if we can make each moment lovely, if we can make each moment full and meaningful, then it becomes, several moments add up to your life. That's really what we're trying to achieve here. So yes, it helps to have some structured practices, but really speaking, mindfulness can well be done even in the most mundane tasks that we do every day. Let me give you some examples. So every morning when you wake up, as soon as you wake up, there are typical morning chores that we all do, starting with brushing your teeth. One very simple way to bring mindfulness into your life is to be completely focused, give complete attention to that brushing your teeth. It's a very, very routine thing. You've been doing it since the time you developed your first milk teeth. Your mother told you have to brush your teeth. You've been doing it. But typically what happens when you're brushing your teeth is when your mind starts working and your thoughts go all over the world, right? You just realize when you're finished brushing, you rinse your mouth and you come out. If you can bring mindfulness into that little task, you've made a wonderful start. Another important place where you can actually bring mindfulness is when you're eating. Again, especially these days when we eat, and I see this also with children, which is, I think, a very, very bad thing to do. A lot of children won't eat unless they are allowed to watch some cartoon or some program on TV and all that, which is like completely their attention is not on the food, they're onto something else. And this is true for us adults also. We either talking or we reading, or we often do that, or we're using that time to plan something out in our minds. See, there is always a time that you can set aside for planning what you need to do. Yes, there is merit to that. You need to do. You have to think about the future. It's not that you don't plan your day or you don't plan your week or whatever, but that's different. If you can do that, put it away, and then be mindful every moment, then things will unfold exactly the way you plan them. You have a greater chance, in fact, of controlling your outcomes. So when you're eating, if you can be aware and mindful of every morsel that goes in, if you can actually start feeling and experiencing how, be conscious of how the food is integrating into your body, how it is becoming a part of you, you will find, and I've started doing this I've been doing this for some years now, and I see that the way I relish my food, the way my food gets digested, everything changes. It's a wonderful experience, believe me. I make a conscious attempt also. I'm sure many of us, when we were growing up, were told, don't talk when you're eating, be silent. These were some things which were so much part of, at least in the Indian tradition, it was there. We probably didn't understand why it was so, but as I grew up, I realized it's just about being mindful and aware and conscious of what you're doing. Give that attention, give that respect, be grateful for that food that you're getting. So that's another simple task. The other one is, of course, as you go to sleep, just before you fall asleep, bring your awareness and your attention to your breath. Or even if it's for a few minutes, few seconds, it depends on how quickly you will be able to fall asleep. You can just drift into sleep with that level of awareness. Believe me, when you wake up, because what happens, I'm sure you, again, all of you experience this, the last thought that you have as you go to sleep is usually the first thought that comes to your mind as soon as you wake up. So if you've gone to bed with some anxiety in your mind, you probably wake up with the same anxiety. So if you can go to bed with this level of awareness of being just focusing on your breath, nothing more, just conscious of your breath, you wake up feeling far more alive and agile. So these are some simple things you can do. Coming to more structured practices, you can spend a little time every day just watching your breath. We'll try and do this for just a few, maybe 1 minute now. That's, I guess, how much time do we have, Rashima?
I think you can have another 5 minutes. We are good. It's 12:30.
Okay.
So you can go for another 5 minutes.
Okay. So there are two practices I'll talk about, and I'll try and club the two. One is simply watching your breath, wherein you don't even try to regulate your breath. You just bring your awareness to the breath. And if you find thoughts intervening, you keep bringing your attention back. Don't worry if they're distracting. The other one is, while you may say all this is fine, but I have thoughts, I have genuine worries, I have anxieties. How do I deal with those? So there's another wonderful exercise. This was actually developed by Hugo Alberts and Seth Fontaine as part of positive psychology toolkit. It's called Leaf on a Stream. It's a very simple thing again. Ideally, you should do it for 10 to 15 minutes. You can even go on up to 20 minutes. The breath watching that I talked about, you can do it as a separate exercise. Ideally, you can do it again up to 20 minutes. I even do it for 40 minutes because your mind keeps drifting, right? So effectively what you'll do will probably be just 15 to 20 minutes. So this one, to keep your thoughts away, is called Leaf on a Stream. What I'd like you all to do is, if you're sitting on the floor, if you can sit cross-legged, sit with your eyes closed, palms loosely on your lap, facing upwards, it'll be nice. If you're sitting on a chair, just keep your legs crossed. Again, palms facing upwards, loosely held on your lap. Just close your eyes. What I'd like you to do is to imagine that you're sitting on the edge of a stream. It's a beautiful, lush, serene countryside. You have this lovely little stream, and the water is flowing very swiftly, clear, pure water. Imagine there are dry leaves from the trees around. These leaves are getting carried away by the current. They're floating on the stream. Now, as you have thoughts coming up in your mind, just gently see yourself putting each thought on one leaf. Take one thought, put it on a leaf. Take the next thought, put it on a leaf. Let it be a positive thought, anxiety, skepticism, anything. Just keep placing it on the leaf. And visualize yourself seeing the thought floating away. You are the observer. You're watching your thoughts floating away. Once you're done, you can bring your awareness back to your breath. Bring your awareness back to your breath and slowly and gently open your eyes. I just gave you a glimpse of it given the time constraint that we have. But ideally, what you can do is start with watching your breath. Do that for at least 5 to 7 minutes. Get into a very, very relaxed state and then do the visualization. You'll find it's far more vivid. Then start putting your thoughts out there. Initially, you will find your thoughts keep coming back. Your thoughts hook you and you keep getting lost. Never mind. Keep bringing it back. Keep going back to the stream. Keep going back to the stream. And slowly you will find you're able to increase the duration over which you're able to do this. This can be done again at the start of the day. It can be done at the end of the day before you go to sleep so that you're clearing your mind of thoughts. You can also do it whenever you find there is too much anxiety crowding your mind. You're feeling very restless, just do this for 5-10 minutes and believe me, you will feel wonderful. So by little practices like these, if you keep on increasing the duration over which you're mindful, you will reach a stage where throughout the day, every waking hour, you are mindful. I can't say I'm 100% there, but I've definitely improved my mindfulness and my involvement in every little activity that I'm doing. I'm seeing it going up day by day. But it comes only with constant practice. So thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity again. I hope this will be of some value to all of you. If you want more details, there are several other techniques which can be used. So very, very simple practices. Do reach out and I'll be very happy to share them.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you so much for the very enlightening session, actually. And considering, that all of us on a daily basis handle so much, right? Be it home, be it work, be it our, extended family. I think these simple practices of mindfulness can actually carry us far to maintain that peace and happiness throughout the day and not allow, our unwanted thoughts or emotions or anxieties to crowd our peaceful day.
Hijack us.
Wonderful. I think I learned a lot. Thank you for this great sharing. And so I'm going to move over to Dr. Pooja. Dr. Pooja, you're a general physician and clinical pharmacologist. And you also have, wanted to talk about this topic, finding peace and happiness through mindfulness. So let us hear it from you, Dr. Pooja.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajeshri and Vidya. That was really nice. And trust me, stepping into the speaker role after your session, it seems to be quite daunting and challenging for me. but still I'll take my humble step to present whatever I have in my mind. And on the outset, I thank the forum, the WEF, and everybody engaged with it. My gratitude for giving me this opportunity today, and that too on a topic which is very close to my heart. So with that, Rajashri, I need to share my screen. Can I go ahead and share? You are on mute, Rajashri.
I think we encourage presentations.
Okay, okay.
So we want it to be a sharing of thoughts and experiences, so that it comes straight from the heart and we
Okay.
are able to connect to the other person.
Okay.
If it's not too much to ask, we can just make it a very informal.
Sure. Not a problem. So can I go ahead?
Yes, please. Yes.
So hi everyone, whoever is watching this, and I take this opportunity to present a brief talk on a topic which is very close to my heart, and that is finding peace and happiness through mindfulness. So as Buddha says, be where you are, otherwise you will miss your life. So let me give you a brief background to what I speak today. So I have always been running across and being engaged in multitasking in the last few years of my life. And that kind of drained me a lot in the end of last year, to the extent that whatever I was doing, whether I was watching TV, whether I was at home, whether I was with family, whether I was in office with colleagues, I never really enjoyed the moment. Be it stress, be it, always in the back of my mind thinking, what next I have to do, how I have to plan the evening, how will tomorrow go, what lies ahead. So all these things kept me very groped. And then came a phase from, which is slightly before the lockdown phase that we are all going through now, that when I started practicing small things in my daily life, somebody introduced me to the concept of mindfulness. And in that journey till now, trust me, there has been a lot of change that has come up in my mind. Most importantly, how I look at life and how peaceful I am at the end of the day. So, having said that, this concept of mindfulness, we all, I get questions like from my friends, what is being mindful? What is there so special about it? So, I will just throw a couple of questions to people here, whoever is watching this. But of course, you can introspect at it later in the day. How many of us really squeeze in too many things on a day? And now that I don't have the scope to interact with you, so I will give the answer to what I was doing till recently. So the first question to all of you is, do we squeeze in too many things a day? Do we try to do a lot many things at home, in office, and get a very tight schedule for ourselves? For me, yes, I was doing that even a few months back. The second question that I would like to ask you, do we always, or at least majority of the times, try to live up to the expectations of others and end up getting drained? For me, it was, to till date, even now, it is a large number of times. The next couple of questions, I know the answers will be yes for most of you, because I have seen that happening whenever I've gone to a restaurant, whenever I have gone to a party, and whenever I've gone to the office canteen. So the next few questions are, do we check mobiles while eating? I have seen many couples who go to the restaurant and both of them are sitting opposite to each other. They order the food. Until the food arrives, they're on their mobiles. When we are doing a particular chore, say cooking at home, or teaching the child at home, or maybe in office when we are working on one particular project, does too many thoughts come to the mind, clutter it, and you immediately open the diary and start jotting down this? What is the amount of time we are actually spending with our social media? I know of people who constantly check Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. Well, I'm not against it. I'm also a very social media person. However, I would suggest restrict the time that you spend on social media, especially when you're doing something, focus on that. Your phone, your social media, unless it's urgent, it can wait. And trust me, when it's urgent, people give you a call. So, having said that, this journey of mindfulness is actually, a lot of people have a concept that it's a religious practice, but I believe it's a way of life. It's definitely not a religious practice. And yes, it is embracing the present non judgmentally. Stop getting too much clinged to your past. Let the art of letting go come through. We all have some agonies of the past. We all have frustrations. We all have faced some or the other agonies in some part of our life. But let's not, when we're sitting today here, when we're doing one particular job after this, let's not stick to it. Let's learn to the art of letting go. And also, not to worry too much about the future. Keeping in mind the uncertain phase of lockdown and the entire world is going through right now, yes, worrying about the future is normal. Worrying about what is going to happen tomorrow, financially, job, recession, everything does clutter in our mind. But what will we do by doing that? So let's embrace the present, let's stay in the present, and let's be happy in the moment. Also, I would say, if we learn to live mindfully, as I already said, that if we give the opportunity of not clinging to the past, of not really embracing every moment of what happened, what he said, what she said, and also sometimes we go through very bitter experiences for no fault of ours. We are just drained, we are just meant to feel so bad. But if you constantly live in that, you're never going to heal relationships. Most importantly, you're never going to learn the art of letting go. You're never going to learn the lesson from what happened and move ahead. So, what is important is not to keep on asking the question to yourself at the end of the day, why this happened to me, why, I went through all of this, that person didn't go through, he didn't go through. The most important thing is you learn the lesson out of it. I'm not saying that you forget the episode and don't keep the lesson in your mind. Keep the lesson in your mind, but don't stick with it. Move on, implement that lesson in your life ahead. Also, you will see that if you practice mindfulness at home with family, you're really going to enjoy the moments of togetherness. There was a point of time when I used to watch TV in the drawing room, but I was actually thinking that what are my pending chores and how I have to plan even a Saturday morning to finish off my pending work, or maybe a work that has come to me in the last moment. So I have stopped doing that, and trust me, life is beautiful after that. Also, at work, I have seen a lot of people, if they keep on WhatsApping, they keep on posting on Facebook, well, that's encouraging. But focus on the chore. If you have something critical in your mind coming up, just note it down. So, having said that, we all need to practice mindfulness in small baby steps in our daily life. If we small practicing in small baby steps in our daily life, ultimately we are going to land up to a phase when in our entire day we are mindful and we are living in the moment. So, first thing that I practice now is doing one thing at a time. When I'm eating, I'm just eating. When I'm checking mails, I'm just checking mails. When I'm watching Netflix, I'm just watching Netflix. So I have stopped making my Excel sheet for my routine while watching Netflix. I've stopped checking emails while I'm eating. And that way is I have learned to appreciate the person who has cooked for me. I've learned to appreciate the person who has gone to the market and brought it, and that too in this uncertain phase of lockdown. I've started noticing my senses. What am I hearing? If my body is giving me any signal of any pain, of any discomfort, I'm extremely mindful of that. Next practice that I have started inculcating is a mindful walking. So every day, some time of the day, I try to go for a walk. And when I'm walking, yes, I do put on my earphones and listen to music for quite some time. But if I'm walking for a period of 1 hour, I try to do that for half an hour. The other half an hour, I try to embrace the nature. Being close to the nature, learning to appreciate the nature is very important. Talking over the phone, checking your mails even while walking, checking your messages, attending to office calls, attending to calls from neighbors, calls from parents at that 1 hour of the day is not going to give you a mindful walking feeling. Walk one day with mind mindfully and see the difference, how it brings to your mind. Another thing is breathing. Concentrate, focus on your breathing. 1 hour before sleeping, try to focus on, the solitude. Maybe you read a book, maybe, you spend some time with family, do 10 minutes of meditation. But a TV 1 hour before sleeping is not a very good option. So, as my co-speaker was also saying, that as mindful parents, that we have to keep it in mind that when children these days are very demanding, and because the parents are working, we are nuclear families, it's all the more difficult. But having said that, encouraging them to play video games or watching cartoon or watching TV, and that is their condition, then only they will eat food. That should not be encouraged right from the beginning. We as parents have to bring out that time, that 10 minutes, that 15 minutes, at least for the major meal of the day, to spend with the child, to teach him or her, to appreciate the fact that he is getting a meal, to appreciate the taste of the food. And also, that is the time when the parent child bonding also happens. So I believe all of us can give in that 15-20 minutes and not really encourage our children as mindful parents to just switch on the TV, give him the bowl, and or tell the nanny to take care of the child and go for our own work. That's not called mindful parenting, and that will have a deep impact on the child's psyche in the long run. Also, these practices of having at least one meal together, not while watching TV, but while conversing with each other, that brings a huge impact in the relationship that we share with our partners also. Because, okay, today in this phase, we are in the lockdown, but when we weren't in lockdown, that is practically the only time we meet after office and before sleeping. So that builds in a lot of proximity in the relationship, and also we know what's happening in the other person's life. It is definitely a peer to peer, a partner to partner support that we develop in that meaningful conversation that happens in that 1 hour. Also, being mindful, I feel that your body is your best friend. Your body stays with you till the end, and it treats you just the way you treat the body. So we should all start practicing, what is called believing in mindful circadian rhythm. So as a doctor, I would say that circadian rhythm, many of you must be knowing over here that our body too gets habituated to a biological clock, which technically we call circadian rhythm. And our body appreciates if we follow a circadian rhythm for the basic functions every day, like sleeping in a particular time, eating the major meals at one particular time. So I have started practicing that. Previously, I used to have very late nights, but these days I encourage myself to go to bed at one fixed time. And that has created a lot of difference to my sleep cycle. It has created a lot of difference to my health. When I get up in the morning, previously I used to be like, so unfresh, but still I used to drag myself out of the bed and, just go to office. But these days I feel fresh, even though I'm at home. Last 4 months I've not stepped out of the house, but still I don't feel unfresh. I don't complain about the fact that I'm not stepping out of home. So probably these practices have created impact. Also, there are small things that I think in our daily lives that creates a huge impact, starting right from getting out of the bed in the morning. So many of us have the practice that we just jump out of the bed. We get up, we see the clock in the mobile, and we realize, oh my God, it's time to run with the daily chores, and we just jump out of bed. But that's not really a very good practice to do. Take 5 minutes to relax yourself, to soothe yourself, and then get out of the bed. Do mindful brushing, do mindful eating. So these getting up from the bed, brushing, having a good breakfast mindfully, all these will lead to the beginning of a good day. Also, keep time for self care. I always tell people, however busy you are, you can squeeze out 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day to tell your body you care. And therefore, that can be small gestures to the body. You may be giving 10 minutes before the bedtime. You may be going for a 15 minutes, workout in the gym. You may be just relaxing, but whatever it is, you need to tell your body, you need to signal your body that you're my best friend. And also, I feel that along with being mindfulness, so we have to practice a habit called the habit of gratitude. Previously, when I used to pray to God, I only used to say, Kal ye dena, tomorrow give me this, tomorrow give me this, make sure that this trouble is not created. But then I have gone to a phase now. My recent learnings have taught me to be very grateful to God, grateful to the universe. So now the first thing I say is thank you for giving me all that I'm having right now. And then, of course, being a human, I do pray for the well being and the things that I want. But if you practice the habit of saying a thank you, if you practice the habit of having a gratitude journal, maybe you have a small diary where you can write 2, 3 points every night before you sleep and say thank you to the universe for whatever you feel like being truly grateful today, that will have a huge impact on how you look at the entire day. Also, the power of appreciation.
I
I
think
have
we're almost up, so
Okay.
maybe a minute for you to just
You are winding up? Yeah, sure. So, this entire package of being mindful in daily activities, being mindful of your breath, getting up in the morning and being mindful of your daily chores, being a mindful parent, being a mindful spouse, being a mindful worker, a mindful child, everything clubs up to your moment of being mindful at the moment. And also learn and appreciate the power of gratitude, the power of appreciation. And I believe all of us in our workplaces believe in the power of appreciation, a few good words. Try to implement that at home and see what magic it creates, even with the domestic help. The attitude with which he or she works will drastically change. So I believe this entire practice in today's world will really help us to propel forward with a peaceful mind and a peaceful body. So that's all from my end. Thank you so much, and thank you for being patient.
thank you, Pooja. A very nice knowledge sharing of very practical ways to deal with day-to-day stressors. And I think we had a very, very enlightening session, starting with Vidya's, sharing about how to inculcate uh, small practices to, go to the mindful state, which is a little bit of spiritual aspect to it, and followed by Pooja, Dr. Pooja, who gave a wonderful practical view of what we could do to be mindful in our day-to-day activities, and how we can cut back on the clutter in our day-to-day life. Very, very insightful knowledge sharing. So I would like to say here that we are from the Women Economic Forum, take this opportunity to confer upon both you lovely ladies the iconic woman creating a better world for all award, which will be shared with you in a digital format soon. So thank you so much for participating in the first ever digital edition of the Women Economic Forum 2020. Wonderful to have moderated this session, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Gratitude.
Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you, Vidya. All the best.